What's up, everybody? I'm Metal Nick.
I'm Jeff Grindstoffer.
And welcome to episode number 24 of Vinyl Bang. Today we have a very special guest, Jeff.
Today we have Mr. Travis Ryan. Let's hear it for Travis.
Fuck yeah, buddy.
Travis Ryan. Finally.
I'd like to thank the Academy and Jesus Christ.
All right, and that's the end of the episode. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We're done. Travis Ryan, of course, is from some bands that you all might have heard of. He is the vocalist for Cattle Decapitation and Murder Construct and Anal Trump.
That's right.
Amongst many other bands. Travis, thank you for agreeing to do the show with us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh man, thank you so much. We've been anticipating this episode since the genesis of this show. Jeff and I have been up talking about trying to get you on, so we appreciate you setting aside the time to do this with us, brother.
Well, thanks, babes, for having me. It's fun. I like talking with you guys, and now we can do it in front of everybody.
Yeah. What now? Before the episode begins, I will tell everybody that one of the things that I've learned about being friends with Travis over the years is that his taste in music is awesome. Like a lot of things that I've learned about Travis are very out of left field, and I'm excited to see how this episode turns out to get the general public an idea of what you listen to on a regular basis. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Sick. Thanks.
This will be great for sure. So, we asked Travis to grab a bunch of his records and explain himself on why he owns these or what these mean to him. So, Travis, go ahead, man.
Well, I know you said, grab some, and you said grab 20 or 25 or something like that, and of ones that mean something to me. But I got a lot of records. It's not that much if you ask me. I know you guys probably have it twice this, but that's a hard call because I listen to so much different stuff. I've worked at a record store for many years, many years off and on, especially when I was in cattle. And so I was exposed to a lot of different stuff. And because of this, I look back at my life and I realized that I was kind of, I never went through any phases. So I never really did. I listened to the same shit I did. I dressed the same as I did back in the day. So for that reason, I really love 80s and 90s metal and music and stuff like that. Because that's where, I got going for the most part. But with that said, I decided to go with mostly recent acquisitions. And then I pulled out a few things that were pretty gnarly or whatever. Or not gnarly, but just stuff that I thought was good to talk about.
Sure.
How about we start off with the first ever vinyl LP that I ever bought?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
And this is odd. This is a weird one. It's gonna make me look like I'm younger than I am, but that's not the case. I listened to all sorts of records growing up, but they were mostly my sisters and my brothers and my parents. Okay. I clearly remember mid 80s seeing Kiss Alive and thinking, wow, that looks sick, And then I put it on. I was just, it just wasn't, it sounded like the shit my parents listened to.
Right.
And they listened to Rolling Stones and shit. So it just, to me, I was just like, no, that's not it. I don't know why this guy's on the back spitting blood everywhere and looking super scary and cool, but this sucks. So then, Rat, Motley Crue, Iron Maiden. That's kind of what. Yeah, and Quiet Riot was actually my first ever album, but it was a cassette. Right. And I didn't buy LPs until I bought this one when it came out. I searched for this record after seeing a ad in Metal Maniacs or some magazine, Rip or some whatever it was, saying the title said Black Death, Doom, Sludge. It was all these catchwords put into one title saying this is the most fucking blah, blah, blah of all time. And I was like, oh, I got to find this. And the cover looked cool. So I was like, oh, I gotta find that. That sounds amazing. And then I searched for the cassette and the CD, could not find them. And then one day I was walking out of the record store. It was actually not a record store; it was a head shop called Inner World in Oceanside. So they sold like bongs and paraphernalia, but they had a massive CD, death metal CD, and vinyl and cassette section. Actually, the vinyl was only a stack about this big. Sorry, I kid you not. This motherfucker was sitting right on top. I walked out. I probably paid $15 for it. And that would be my first ever vinyl purchase of all time. I still think it's weird that this is reality. This is truth. But Beherit's Oath of Black Blood.
Oh, wow.
The original turbo release. I've had people offer me hundreds of dollars for this thing over the years, and I just won't do it. Not even now. I mean, it's my first vinyl purchase. My first purchase. I owned records, I guess, because I usurped my brother's and my sister's collections and stuff. But so it's like, U2, The Cure, crap like that. Mm-hmm. Beethoven. I have my first ever love of music was started by Beethoven, Ludwig von Beethoven, and I did a book report, or like a report on him or whatever too. So
nice.
But recently I picked up when we were out on tour. We played this church thing in Philly or somewhere, and they had a record store attached to it, and it was pretty sick. So I got this really cool Nuclear War Now Productions version that was made under the watchful eye of Vengeance Nuclear Holocausto, the vocalist.
Okay.
They were a bunch of stupid kids when they released that shit. It's actually probably kind of a pretty terrible record, but I loved it. I mean, it was just really raw and sketchy.
Sure.
And then they followed it up with this masterpiece. I got this recently.
Yes. Oh man, I love that one.
This is actually a phenomenal record.
Yeah. Great black metal album.
They're both great. And then I had to get the Nuclear War Now.
Okay.
Also the same, they went and they found the original art, or like the actual picture this was taken from NASA, and they had, they really went all out on this thing.
That's a great photo.
Turns out these guys were like 15 years old when they were making this stuff. So does it age well? I don't know. I mean, I like it. I have sentimental attraction to it, but they kind of accidentally started a scene that I'm just not into, the whole war metal thing. I just don't care about it. We played it with one of the more popular bands in New York, and we just stood there going, this is what everybody won't shut the fuck up about? And it's just this guy, bass players. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people that can sit there and make fun of me and our band and go, oh, you're just a bunch of noise too, or whatever. But this was like the most, it took no talent. It's just weak, and everyone's just like, yeah, this is the most true shit ever. I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like, you don't even. These people are fans of personality. They're not fans of music. Nobody's really fans of music anymore. I think they just care about personality and people, and I that whole concept pisses me off. I'm gonna move on to. So, stuff I just picked up. I actually got this at the same record store. This guy, Thomas Kohner, this album, Albright. I've never seen it on vinyl, so I had to get it. Big influence into my old ambient band, 552,000. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I think we directly sampled it, actually, on stuff. This guy actually went out to, he went to Antarctica and studied isolation. Studied the sound of silence and glaciers moving and shit like that. And you put this on and it just immediately, it sets a mood, a very dreadful, what the fuck's about to happen mood. I love it. It freaks people out. It freaks my dog out though too, unfortunately. She's not a big Thomas Kohner fan. Jeff, I think you'll be proud of me for this one. I don't know about you, Nick.
Look at that. Very nice. Very nice.
I've been looking, well, not looking, but I never had this on vinyl. I got all their CDs, but I never owned the Pod or God, Ween, Satan on vinyl. I have the live version, but that's different.
Sure.
So I do still need God, Ween, Satan. I have an original press of Chocolate and Cheese. And I don't own Pure Guava either. These guys' records go for hundreds of dollars.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I've never been a fan of that band. I had a friend a few years back who was just like absolutely obsessed, and it would always just like preach him on me. But he would always play like the worst songs for like what's it called, Pulling the Daisies and shit like that. And I'm like,
I mean, that was their MTV hit.
That's what I'm telling him. Like, how are you expecting me to get into this band when you're playing shit like this?
Yeah.
And then I watched that South Park special at Red Rocks, and that first song that they played, I was like, all right, this seems kind of cool and trippy. Like, I went on a road trip and played that song, and I was like, this is all right. But like, I used to talk to this girl a couple years ago, and I remember she was a fan of theirs, and she would go see them live in like, you know, the Midwest, and she told me like it's a very like hippie like following. Like their fans are just like, they're just something different, almost
kind of like Fish or Grateful Dead, but
yeah, they traveled to see them and all that. So like, I get it. I guess I didn't get it, but the one thing I took away from them is like, they're very good musicians and they don't write like the same album twice. So like, and
dude, they're fucking sick. I saw them back in the day. I think it was still what album was what the fuck album? Chocolate and Cheese. I think it was either that album or right after. I think it was Chocolate and Cheese. It was either that or the Mollusk. But I saw them.
Is the one that
that's the one you'd probably like because that's the beginning of that
song
that
live of that Red Rocks thing for South Park, and I was like, "Yo, this song is actually pretty cool. I can get down with this." So I don't want to call it proggy, but it was different, you know.
Yeah, that's when they changed up their sound. The thing is the guitar player is a shredder. He's a total shredder. But they started out as just like a fucking joke band, just really ridiculous shit. And I actually liked that stuff. I don't know. It was bizarre and it reeked of like private jokes, you know, like you could tell it was all shit like within their circle of friends that I didn't understand because I'm not friends with them. But but my friends and I had that same kind of camaraderie with music and the bands that we had. So I get it. When it comes to that kind of shit.
Well, I mean, like my first impression of them was Pure Guava whenever I saw the video for Push a Little Daisies. And then I got that. And then, their shit like Poop Ship Destroyer. And, like dude, it's just so fun, especially for like 11-year-old Jeff to hear, shit like that. It just, Pure Guava was, I never really took off with Ween, but I always liked Pure Guava, and I liked their eclecticness. They're very diverse. Like,
it's a great album. That's one of the ones where you work backwards, sort of like they get better as you go backwards. For me, at least, because I really like the lo-fi, the first two records, God, Ween, Satan, and The Pod. They're just so fucking weird and recorded like on Tascams and shit like that. So it has a genuine quality to it, a real quality to it. I don't know. Here's a band that I've gotten into over the years, last 6 or 7 years. I don't even know. How did I find out about them? No, I don't think I was working at. No, I wasn't working at any record stores. I don't know. I don't even remember how I found out about them. But Shannon and the Clams. You ever heard them, Jeff?
No, never heard of Shannon and the Clams.
This woman, Shannon Shaw, she's a phenomenal vocalist. Anyways, I don't know. They're weird. It's like kind of like doo-woppy stuff with like indie rock and a lot of weird like old school, psychedelic rock kind of flavors and stuff. But she's a phenomenal vocalist, and they have this really high-pitched, bizarre sounding guy that does vocals, and you can never really tell like who's doing what really. At least that's how I was at first. But I love this band. Unfortunately, her fiance passed away. I believe it was last year, and this record was written all around that. So the lyrics are extremely poignant and depressing and beautiful. But great band. Their last 3 or so records, I'm just obsessed with.
Now I'm beyond intrigued. So this depressing, beautiful doo-wop indie rock, see now this is why I'm excited, or why I'm excited that you did this episode, because to learn shit like this, a beautiful, depressive doo-wop indie rock band.
They're just really well written songs, man.
That's awesome.
They're just
Yeah.
fucking
So
well written
cool.
songs.
So cool.
We're letting down the people that are expecting you to talk only about slam and stuff like that.
Shit. Well, they know if they know me, then they know better than that. And this, I'm not trying. I promise, I'm not like trying to be,
No.
out of pocket or weird.
This is awesome, dude. I'm very happy with what you're talking about so far.
Dude.
I learned a long time ago that that's how I guess how I'm viewed or whatever. But I promise you, working at a record store, Lose Records, especially in Encinitas, California, that'll do it. That's all it takes. Like you just get exposed to too much different stuff, depending on the kind of person you are, to listen to one genre. And that's why if having to only listen to metal or having to not just discern or just have to like pretty much most of it, then I'm not a metalhead. If that's what the requirements are of being a metalhead, is you got to like all the genres or you got to listen to only that or whatever. Fuck, dude, I'm out. I am nowhere near a metalhead then, because that's just no. It's in my blood.
Yeah.
Of course, it's in my veins. It always has been. But and then also touring and stuff like the you want to see a rookie, like the most rookie maneuver you can do is be a band, death metal band, and at the end of the night after the show, you're driving away, you're on tour, and you're listening to more death metal. That's a band that has not been on the road long, or they're just true metal warriors that I'm just not.
Well, dude, I'm
fine with that.
like whenever I drive home from a show, because it's usually like an hour and a half after I drive home from a metal show, like I'm listening to Lady Gaga or something, just
Yeah.
kind of even it out.
Although
death metal is too much.
she's only got one good record.
We're not getting into that, Travis.
Hold on. Let me see.
Here
Let
it
me
comes.
see.
Joanne.
Here it
He
goes.
pulls
Oh,
out
it's
Joanne.
Yeah. Son of a bitch. It's back there, but yeah, that's the record I was going to pull out.
I know.
It's the only good one.
It is not the only good one. He doesn't.
I
mean
just don't. I'm not into her. Oh la luna la. Her stuff. I'm glad she exists. I like her acting. I think she's a better actress than anything.
Her hit songs are so great. Even the deep cuts are good. I think she's a really good artist. I never in a million years would have listened to her, but I got forced to a bar with a bunch of friends for many years, and I just was like, oh my god, she's actually pretty good. And,
know who else is rules but sucks, but is still pretty good, but still sucks?
Please say Taylor Swift. Please say Taylor Swift. Please say Taylor Swift.
She's not good. She's a. The fact that she is in a world of ghostwriters,
Sure,
a world driven by ghostwriters, and she writes her own stuff is cool. If that's true, I believe that's true.
it is.
But she's so vanilla. Her stuff's just no. I was gonna say, the fuck.
Chapel Roan.
No.
Adele.
Oh, she's phenomenal. Come on.
Oh, I know.
I don't like her songs. I don't like any of her music, but god damn those pipes. No, dude. Miley Cyrus. Sorry. Her voice is amazing. Her voice is incredible. I love her voice. I hate 99.9% of the stuff she's done. She's done a couple covers. When she did some stuff with Mark Ronson and started working with him, it made a little more sense. And again, decent actress. I thought she was good on
Nothing Else
Black Mirror.
Oh, she was great on Black Mirror. Yeah.
Look, I don't know that I've heard the Nothing Else Matters thing, but I'll be honest. I bet it's better than the original.
It is good. I will absolutely, dude. Elton John.
I bet it's better than the original.
Yeah, it is. I would absolutely is.
She's a goddamn. Her voice is amazing. I can't stand her. Can't fucking stand her as a personality. God. See, it goes both ways. You can like the music, but just be like, ugh, Jesus, she needs to shut the hell up. Can't stand her. But her voice is incredible. Goddamn incredible. All right, let's talk metal.
All right,
brothers. My metal brethren, what are we doing? Miley Cyrus. Taylor Swift, you fucking posers. All right. Uranzi Pazuzu. I just got this. Have you heard? I just got this. Is their older record, Svart. Where's it
I've
on
dabbled.
Svart Records? No, it's on
dabbled.
Svart Records.
Never really got into them, but
The album's called Varach. I'm not saying it, but their newest record, the one that came out slightly at the end of the pandemic-ish or whatever, during the pandemic, whatever. That's really what got me into them. In fact, that was like that and Lustful Sacraments, Perturbator. Those two bands were like my soundtrack during the years off the pandemic-ish.
Okay.
But this was on sale, I think. No, never mind. This was part of that record buy I did at that goddamn record store recently. Love that band. They're kind of like psychedelic and jammy, but blackened and this when it comes to metal, like when people go, "Oh, you like check this out, Travis? Have you heard?" And it's some deathcore shit, or "Oh, have you heard this?" And it's some whatever.
some
I don't
cookie
know.
cutter band that sounds
Some
like everybody else.
Or just oh, you like stuff that's different. What do you think about Ghost Main? Oh, I like Ghost Main though, so that's not a good example. But when it comes to metal and modern metal, is I guess where I'm getting at. I'm gonna listen to more stuff like that, or black metal, or something doomy, or fucked up, or something. It's just I can't do much modern metal, man.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. A lot of the standard death metal, it just, you can only take so much before you get something that kind of not reinvents the wheel, but just kind of alters it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I like some diversity in it.
I cannot wait to see that band live. Oh, it was okay. I found out about them. It was they're the first band in the pandemic that I saw that did a live stream or whatever.
Okay.
And I tuned in and watched it, and I was just like, my jaw hit the floor. I was like, dude, this band is fucking sick. And I ran to the pre-order link. I immediately bought their fucking record and fell in love with it. So
Nice.
I'm working my way backwards with that one. I'm waiting for the new one to come out. I am very, very stoked on this next item. I'm shocked that it took this long to get it, because I've been a fan since it came out. But Gravediggers, 6 feet deep, dude.
Nice.
Finally got it.
Mm-hmm.
I got a cool. What I haven't been doing is showing the
Showing
kind
the
of
press
vinyl it is.
Yeah.
Although at the same time, I buy black a lot because I listen to these things.
Yeah. We've had this discussion a few times between Jeff and I. It's like, it doesn't have to be color. I think in the beginning when me and him started collecting, it's like we have to have the OG pressing and it has to be the colored vinyl. And then I'm not paying
the same way.
$200 for this record, but there's a lot of people that are repressing a lot of shit from the 90s right now, especially hip hop, and it's fucking awesome. So I think I've seen what you're about to pull out.
Yeah, this it's like
that's nice.
Like a bloody. It looks like blood in the water or something like that. It's pretty cool. Speaking of spending too much for records,
Here we go.
I don't do that. I had to make an exception, although I don't think it's spending too much. But I did have to drop on this next one. I had to. I'm a huge fan of this band, Throbbing Gristle. And they broke up in the late 2000s. And they had started doing this project of this woman, Nico. You guys familiar with Nico from Velvet Underground? All right.
Not really.
It's a German singer that was also a model back in the late 60s, early 70s, and she was part of that band Velvet Underground for a minute.
Okay.
And but she put out a few solo records, and there's one called Desert Shore that is a phenomenal fucking record. And she was bizarre and weird. There was nothing like her at the time. Everybody thought she was bizarre, but people in the industry loved her. She's one of a kind. I named my cat after her, who passed away years back. I've just been a fan of this chick forever. And they put out a record. I've had this forever, but this is a limited edition version, white vinyl. Gotta do the the whole vinyl thing, white vinyl. But basically, they had this singer, Genesis Peorage, who was he was the man. He was the main person in Throbbing Gristle. And then they had a falling out. They break up after they had like reunited after however many years. They reunited, did a few things, and then put out some of the best work they had ever done, and then broke up. But after they broke up, they said, well, fuck it. We still want to do this Desert Shore idea that this dude came up, one of the guys in the band came up with back in like 2008. So they put out this record, and it is one of my favorite records of all time. Desert Shore by XTG, X-TG, which stands for like X Throbbing Gristle. Desert Shore, the final report, it's called. And this thing, everybody I feel needs to stop and listen to this. Stop what you're doing and listen to it. It's really bizarre. It's got a bunch of guest vocals on it. Mark Almond from not Soft Kill, fuck. They did Tainted Love. What's that band? Soft Cell.
Cell.
And Sasha Grey, the porn star, is on one of the songs as doing vocals, and it's not very good. But then again, this band,
Not her best work. Not her best.
this band is important because if you are a fan of industrial or think you're a fan of industrial and you've never heard this band, then fuck you. No. Then what you need, then you've just been misinformed or not informed at all, and you need to stop and go and listen to Throbbing Gristle, because industrial music, the term was coined by this guy Monty Kazaza, and at the time he had met Throbbing Gristle and they became friends, and they realized they were doing the same thing, which is basically noise, a bunch of non-musicians playing music, and doing art installations and stuff. And there's something about that concept to me. If you can never learn to play a damn thing in your life, but have a career in making music, there's something cool about that. There's a few people that have done that. Most of them tend to be on the noise and experimental side, but Throbbing Gristle is one of them. They ended up making their own synthesizers, and they have this massive body of work, and it's all rather terrifying. Very kind of terrifying to listen to.
Now, just as a side note, you had done something in tribute to Throbbing Gristle.
Yes,
back, hadn't you?
Back in the late 90s, put out a tribute to Throbbing Gristle that had all these noise acts on it. Melvins was on it, actually. Your buddies, the Melvins.
My buddies, the Melvins.
Yeah. And yeah, dude. I love them. I love that band extremely, extremely. I never got to see them. They did a bunch of reunion shows. They did all sorts of shit I could have gone to, and I never got a chance to because of cattle decapitation.
Touring, yeah.
Fuckers.
That sucks.
I'm just joking. This is a weird one. This guy Steven Vitiello did. He's an electronic artist, ambient and electronic artist in New York, and he actually went. This is actually the World Trade Center. This was recorded, I don't know, late 90s or something. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. This was recorded. All right, I'm gonna just read the fucking thing. Mix of sounds recorded during the Worldview's residency on the 91st floor of the World Trade Center, floating above the lights of New York City. Inexpensive contact microphones were fixed to the windows and routed into a mixing board, tweaked by equalization and a Sherman filter bank. I think that's just to give it like subs or something. I don't even know. Additional experiments were done at night with an amplified photocell placed into the eye of a telescope. The result was the chance to listen to the building and to all that passed by it. Airplanes, helicopters, peoples on the streets below, wind, and the intensified movement of the buildings after Hurricane Floyd. So the photocell thing is they took this, they put in the eye of a telescope, and what it did was when they would point this telescope at, say, moving cars or lights or whatever, it would send a signal to the to their fucking synths or whatever, and it would create sound. So they were creating sound from images that using this photo cell that they would point at all sorts of random stuff, people passing by, 91 floors down or whatever. I believe this was recorded actually like in 2000 or something like that. So it was like not even a year or something before the towers came down.
Jesus Christ, that's fucking wild.
Yeah, and then the sounds of the building going through these contact mics, and then they, tweaked it and manipulated those sounds or whatever. I'm really into ambient music. It's one of my favorite genres, and that's pretty much what this is. I own 2 copies of this because I'm a freak. Oh. 1.5 copies.
No, I own 1.5 copies.
It's like the 10 Commandments and fucking whatever that movie was. I'm going to show you I'm going to show you one of my most rare records. I probably should guard this with my life. My God, I can't believe it has this much damage on it. I totally know what that's from too. It's from pulling it in and out of listening to it so much.
Yep.
I actually own, I think there's only 500 of these. There's either 500 or 1,000, but I think there's only 500. Weakling, Dead as Dreams. The LP. This is a holy grail. It goes for between $1,000 and $2,000. At least it has ended at that. Very dark red vinyl. This is the only pressing they ever did. This band went on to, let's see, a couple of the guys. One of the guys was in that band, The Fucking Champs.
Okay.
You ever heard of them?
I've heard of it.
And then, so they're like a math rock kind of band. This is the beginning of that Leviathan, Zathler, American suicidal black metal sound. This is basically the blueprint, like the beginning of that or whatever.
Okay.
I guess you could argue that no, Burzum or MZ412 or whatever. I don't even know. It's all sorts of other older bands or whatever are responsible for that sound. But this kind of is what kept it in the shores of the USA. Very, very depressing, gorgeous riffs, gorgeous album, amazing album. I can't stress it enough. Weakling, Dead as Dreams. You must hear it. I probably will never give this up. This is at least $1,000 from what I've seen. I got it in San Francisco where it was released from Aquarius Records by the guy who released it. He worked there, Andy from Tumult, and this is a very important record. Anyways, one of my more prized ones, along with this. This is fucking sick as fuck. As you know, Jalf, or maybe I don't know, maybe you don't. I'm a big fan of the Swans.
Yes.
The band Swans.
Yes.
And they have an album called Soundtracks for the Blind, which is one of the greatest albums ever made, regardless of genre.
Okay.
It's definitely their best, their finest at 2 hours or so. And years back, they reissued it on these vinyl box sets. But Jarbo, the woman in the band who went on to quit, and this is her final record with them, she took an unknown amount of copies aside and hand painted them.
Oh, wow.
This is one of a kind. So she hand painted them. Here I have the actual unpainted one too, of course. So you can see, oh shit. Oh yeah. So you can get an idea of like how much extra stuff she put into it. That's like the original.
Yeah, okay, I've seen that cover. Yeah,
box set signed by Michael Gira, the main guy. He did not sign this. I believe at this time they still might have been having a falling out. They were lovers back in the day, and they broke up, and you know how that goes. But she hand painted this one, and
that's incredible.
Pretty prized possession. You sent her $100 and something bucks. I forgot. It was like 100, 150, 125, something like that. And she sent you this back. I own real crazy things from this woman. She's on the
floor.
she's on the Harvest Floor on our album The Harvest Floor. She's the one that does the vocals at the end on that song, or the
right. That's what I was going to ask. Did you get the hand painted thing before or after she did the thing for the Harvest Floor?
After, but I saw her put it. I didn't even bother trying to hit her up for a personalized one or nothing. I just straight up, I knew what I was looking at.
Right.
That these are either she's gonna regret she did this because there's gonna be too many people ordering or something, or they're gonna sell out or whatever. So I jumped on it, and this never been played or nothing. This is just a work of art.
Sure.
Keep this off to the side, And what else was I gonna say about it? She was on the Harvest Floor, and and I own when they did their final tour with her back in the late 90s, 98 or so. I bought these limited edition cassettes she was putting out. I don't know, there's 50 or not even 100 or something like that of them made, and she put those out, and I spent $200 at their merch booth. Or I could have not bought all this shit. I bought a ton of stuff, not bought all that stuff, and spent the $200 just on this book that contained her everything: blood, sweat, tears, vaginal secretions. I don't know if there was poop, but there urine, and everything was mixed into the cover of this box set. And I've always kind of, back then I didn't really have much money. I didn't have hardly any money. I shouldn't have even spent what I did. And I remember thinking I should have just bought that.
Yeah.
I don't think it was $200. I think it was $120, and that's all I had that night. So I bought a bunch of these tapes and stuff. I have a lock of her hair that's in one of them, shit like that. But I really wish I would have got that crazy box or book with all of her weird stuff on it.
Unique.
Yeah,
That's
just a little.
Yeah,
Jesus. I did buy I have this. I did buy one of her books. It was a smaller, lesser, not as cool one, but it had mud from the back, Georgia mud when she lived in Atlanta, from her backyard, mixed into it. Shit like that's kind of cool. I like special packaging stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Speaking of special packaging, I am glad that back in the day we had this thing where you were supposed to send me a copy of Anthropocene that was supposed to shoot glitter. I am so glad that particular copy did not shoot glitter. And actually, I have that copy right here. So I am going to go ahead and prove that this particular copy does not, in fact, shoot glitter. And I'm going to set it kind of off screen here for a second, but I'm going to just make sure that this copy does not actually. Oh God, it does. Fucker! What the fuck, dude? Are you serious?
Told you.
Oh man, that's. Damn you, Travis Ryan.
So the joke is, I had, Jeff Grindstoffer is what they call would you call yourself a completist?
Yes.
A cattle completist, at least?
Yeah, because I have 20 copies of Anthropocene. I have every,
He's a diehard.
a little bit of a
completist. The joke has always been that his wife, Melanie, is going to leave him, or she's worried about how much he's spending, or gets mad at him and all this stuff. So when I found that out, that's probably a possibility, I started always, making fun of him for it and ribbing him for it. But so I basically made up this, hey, dude, there's this this $200 LP variant we're doing that it's a pop-up. The pop-up gatefold that shoots glitter, to mimic the plastic shooting everywhere,
Yeah.
Because we had the glitter in that 7 billion parts per million variant or whatever,
which is my favorite variant of all time.
Thank you. It's mine too.
Absolutely.
I love that.
The trash explosion,
and yet unfortunately I can't find that one.
What was a close second, but the trash explosion pressing of Death Atlas was a close.
That's a beautiful looking record, but unfortunately that's the most expensive one out there on the market as far as I've seen.
This is it's not Death Atlas, it's Anthropocene.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's just it looks really sick, but the thing is, dude,
beautiful.
It is.
I got all these lengths to come up with these titles for these things or for these variants and color schemes that are all conceptual and shit, and they all look like crap. I go with the one fucking stock variant that probably 10 million bands have done, and everyone thinks it's the greatest one. I was like, oh, all right.
And real quick, thank you very much, because Jeff has his behind a frame, and every other person I know will not take theirs out. So I've never seen that in person. So
the trash explosion?
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen that. That wasn't a mock-up picture of it.
Yeah, so, it's pretty sick.
Making history on our show tonight here. Thanks, but thanks.
All it was a real. I forgot what it was called, but it was like everything all at once. It was like a real dense splatter. Because it depends on how many pellets they had to put, like a fucking ton of pellets, different colored pellets or something for it to do it. Something like that.
The billion parts one is, I remember coming down to Richmond and showing you the first one that I bought, and it was all dented because they sent it to me in like a shitty packaging. So I ordered a second one, but I recently parted ways with the bad packaging one. I opened up the other one on our show a couple months back, but
that's my favorite one, man.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I don't own anything that looks that great, so I like that a lot.
Well, I'm just glad I have all this fucking shit to clean up now, so I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that was awesome, Jeff.
And real quick story, I had a friend who's listening to a podcast that you were on years ago, and he hits me up. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm listening to a podcast with Travis from Cattle, and he just mentioned Grindstopher." I was like, "Yeah, what did he say?" He's like, "Well, he told him that he tricked him into thinking that there was a record that opens up and shoots out confetti." I had to call Jeff up, like, "Dude, you will not believe this, but that's." Here we come full circle today.
Yeah. I remember talking about that somewhere.
Yeah. It's always been an ongoing joke, and I'm glad I finally got to get it on video.
Yeah.
I got a good closure for the confetti shooting Anthropocene.
That's a good one.
Okay, back to the
All right, I'm going to move on.
All right, back to this.
This is an odd one. Well, yeah. I've been trying to collect all of his records. There's a lot of people that may not even know he has records, but David Lynch, the director, the Twin Peaks director, and this is one of his albums, Crazy Clown Time. This crazy box set version that I found for cheap. It goes for a ton, I think, but I found it for cheap at my buddy's store. I still paid way too much, but it has some like weird water damage or some shit, or just like a off color. It's all felt. This is like nice and felty, and just comes with, I guess there's only 1,000 of them. The deluxe edition. It's just a big art book. It comes with a big art book, and then I think it's just black vinyl, which I'm totally cool with. I think there's a CD in here somewhere or whatever, but interesting art book. I'm more of a fan of his music, I think, than his movies. I like his movies and all. There's some of them that are classic and timeless. But I really like his music. His voice is bizarre. It sounds exactly like the way he talks. If you've heard him talk, it's just him basically talking, singing. It's
very
weird.
monotone. Yeah.
He's fucking weird. The songs are weird, but he's actually a pretty decent producer. He did all this stuff, and it's shockingly decent and matches the aesthetic of his movies very, very well, which is quite a feat to me. That's a true artist, I think.
Yeah.
So I've been collecting all of his trying to collect his records. He just released a new one just the other day that I pre-ordered. I know I said I wasn't going to pre-order it anymore, but none of these 6-month or more ones, dude. I'm not doing that shit. No more year-long pre-orders. I'm not doing it. I've gotten too close to getting ripped off lately.
Yeah. Speaking of David Lynch, like I've never heard you talk about David Lynch. Like you never talked about Twin Peaks or any of his movies or anything. I never figured you were a fan, but his music is a completely different thing, and that's cool to know that you're a fan of his music. That's awesome.
Yeah, like Eraserhead, Wild at Heart, Fire Walk with Me. I could have done without the entire series, just as long as that movie exists.
Right.
It's a goddamn good movie, dude.
Right.
I love that movie. Anyways,
right on.
This woman, I'm a massive obscene fan of. She put out this new record, Broken Gargoyles. This is a Diamanda Galás, 61 years old, I think, and I got chills. She's amazing. She's fucking amazing. She's got a new live record that I cannot wait for because her first live record, I actually lost a girlfriend of 6 years over that. I mean, we didn't break up because of that, but I remember driving and she's like, oh, God. I was like, what's wrong? She's like, what is this? I'm like, Diamanda Galás. I'm like, oh, fucking garbage. Why are you listening to this? This is bullshit. You don't really like, shut up. You don't really like this. You're trying to be weird. I'm like, fuck you. Like, so we broke up right after that. We've been going out for like 6 years. So and that was just her live record, which is a bunch of fucking blues songs. And this is way over the top. This was, that chick would probably kill herself if she heard this. Broken Gargoyles. I think the concept is about, I think it was World War I. She's really hung up on writing songs about about injustice and groups of people mostly that got screwed over somehow. Her brother died of AIDS in the 80s, and she became a staunch, supporter of people with HIV and raising awareness. Mm-hmm. She has "We Are All HIV Positive" tattooed on her knuckles. She's brutal. She's in her 60s now, and she's still fucking absolutely terrifying. This record is fucking terrifying, and I mean it. Especially if you've seen her, if you know about her. This is the woman she's the walking, living, breathing equivalent of like every town, every small town has like that ghost story of the woman walking through the woods. Oh, there's a witch that, or the Blair Witch, or blah blah blah, or whatever.
Right.
That's this woman in the flesh. In the flesh. Wow. But instead of terrorizing towns or killing young teens, she does it through her music, and it's phenomenal. Phenomenal classical pianist. Her range is disturbing. She can break glass, all that kind of shit.
Nice.
And she's been doing it since, 70s, late 70s, I think, early 80s. She was really popular. She's on Enigma. She's popular in the 90s and stuff. And now she's just like the goth queen that people wish they could be. I love her. This record specifically, it is terrifying. I think it's about like World War I or something. Guys, or maybe it was Civil War. I can't remember, but like it's something to do with guys that would get their faces like halfway blown off, but still lived, and they were treated like shit. I shouldn't even talk about it anymore, but you should read up on it. Broken Gargoyles is the name of the record, and it's goddamn terrifying.
I did check it out. I did listen to it. It is terrifying.
Yes, it's
definitely different.
Very unnerving and amazing. I find stuff like that to be kind of.
No, this is great.
Like balm, like where it would make most people like and sometimes it will, it'll be like, all right, this is too much, I got to turn it off, depending on the mood or whatever. But then there's times where I'm like, no, this is perfection. And then Denise is like, turn this off, or the dog's looking at me like, please stop, and then I will, of course, if I notice that. I got this box set of, how they do this whole like record, one album. They take an album, they make a friggin' gigantic box set around, like one record. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad they did this. This is Midnight Odyssey, Shards of Silver Fade. This guy did a lot of he helped out with the intro, the song, The Unerasable Past, the intro to the Death Atlas.
Okay.
And he also helped out on Just Another Body, the synthesizer and the beginning piano stuff with that, from Terracite. This is his band, Midnight Odyssey, and this is how Dave and I found out about this guy, Australian artist, one man thing, but it's a massive, very dense Odyssey, really. I mean, each album is this one specifically, and then another one. There's one other one. The name escapes me. It's up there, but I thought this was an important one. I think it's some sort of colored vinyl of some sort, I believe, although it doesn't matter. Really, yeah, I got the blue. I always have to get the blue, or the, whatever the colored one is. If it's there, I'll grab it. If it's not, I'm totally fine with the black.
Mm-hmm.
But great album. I feel like when I've talked to people about it, they seem to be thrown off by the name for whatever reason. Ignore it. Just listen to this stuff. It's really, really good. If you like, black metal, but also Devin Townsend or whatever. It's got that kind of scope, like a musical scope of, say, Devin Townsend's solo or work or Strapping on Lad, but is more in the vein of like ambient or ethereal. Black metal doom, sort of some elements of that. There's also some kind of more fantasy sounding shit, but I don't know. And
this is all one album. Like that box is just
this box is one record because it's fucking long, dude. It's a double CD. I think it was a double CD. Dave would put it on after the shows, and we'd just sit there listening to it, drinking beers or whatever. And it's a good end of the night record for sure.
Okay.
I'm going to show you something that I'm not sure. Oh, I mean, I've gotten as close to confirmation that this is real than I think anyone could really get without going up to the dude myself and holding it up to him going, "Did you do this?" But my buddy gave me this in the late 90s. It's the De-Evolution 7-inch. So this is Devo's first 7-inch. Released on their label, Bougie Boy Records.
Oh, wow.
Now, that's not so impressive because they made, I don't know, there's probably 7,000. There's a lot of these.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the most rare record. But when they first got them, apparently, Mark Mothersbaugh, the vocalist, took aside 3 copies and he wrote surprise signature. Oh God, the orientation here is going to kill me. I can't do things backwards. Oh, I'm an idiot. Surprise signature number 1, Bougie Boy. And apparently they made number 1, 2, and 3, and then just put them in the general population of the records. Thousands of records.
Okay.
Supposedly this is number 1 that Mark Mothersbaugh took when they first got these in house, and he wrote surprise signature number 1, Bougie Boy. My buddy that gave me this, he's collected everything. He told me, should I say this? What are the statute of limitations? Is there a statute of limitations? I don't know. The dude's had everything and it come through his hands. Everything. He told me he straight up owned a lamp made of human skin once. Is that true? I don't fucking know. Probably, knowing this guy. But he's a collector of things all over the world. He'd fly over the world collecting records and for Blue Meanie Records in El Cajon. And he gave me this and explained the story to me. Then last year, I'm poking around on Facebook or whatever, and I see my buddy Toby from Softkill, the band Softkill.
Mm-hmm.
They were playing some festival with Devo. And I was like, dude, have you seen Devo at all today? He's like, dude, their trailer or whatever, their backstage is right across from ours. I was like, if you run into Mark Mothersbaugh, ask him about this record. And I explained it to him. I sent him pictures.
Right.
Oh, wait, no. Did I send him pictures? I think I was on tour. I don't remember if I sent him pictures or not. I feel like I might have. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look. I could probably check, and he sent me pictures of him talking to Mark Mothersbaugh, who said, "Yeah, I did that. That's real. Wow. I forgot about that," kind of thing. He was just like, "That's crazy.
Right.
I never thought I'd see that. That's me. I did that."
Dude,
so
that's
this,
incredible.
I would think this would be the most rare record I have then. Like Devo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
one
absolutely.
of three, like, with that signature thing, like if that's for real,
Right.
I have no reason to believe my friend lied to me. He had tons of crazy stories, and some of them actually totally checked out. So I don't know.
Wow.
This might be the rarest record in my collection. I
Pretty
can't
impressive,
tell.
man.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But then again, I have test presses too. So this is I got a test press. This is part. All right, I pulled out. This is my Bethlehem 7-inch collection. I am a completist. I'm doing the full blown completion of Bethlehem and Brujeria, which is one of my favorite bands of all time.
Mhm.
Bethlehem. I don't know why I got real obsessed with them, but why did I choose them to be the band that I'm going to collect everything from? I don't really know. I think probably because back in the day, I think he signed the year. Yeah, 2002. I befriended. I bought a demo tape. Their first demo tape off of Klaus Maton, the guitar player that was in the band. They put out that he was on that album Dictius Te Nakar that was all over Gummo and stuff, and really put this band on the map because of the crazy vocalist.
Mhm.
And he ended up selling me one of his test press to their first fucking 7-inch. So this is, I don't know, maybe 5 of them in existence or something. And then he signed it to me. Best wishes, blah blah blah.
Nice.
So I'm really, this is a prized possession as far as records go. I have a few of their test presses actually, but that's just because I've found 1 or 2 in the wild, and then also befriended the bass player who did he did a little guest voice over thing on Pacific Grim on was that album Anthropocene Extinction.
Yeah.
So I'm really, I just recently got one version, Nightmare Records. Yeah, this one, the just black vinyl of their first 7-inch. That this is the test press for, but I already owned the Red Stream version on black vinyl again, and then this is the red vinyl version of the same 7-inch. I'm going to have everything one day of this band. There's only 2 things I'm missing. I haven't gone and collected all the the variants of all the albums, like the CDs. Sorry, I have all the album variants, the vinyl variants. I don't have CD variants, like the Belgian version of this and blah 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 or whatever.
Sure.
This fucking record, I must tell you, I have to consider this a holy grail in my collection because it took whenever it came out, whatever year it came out, I've been waiting since then because I remember when it was talked about, and then I forgot about it, and then I was just like, wait a minute, well, whatever happened to that thing? 2001, or at least that's when it was recorded. I don't think that's when it was released. But dude, yeah, it says there's 500 of these things. This one's actually numbered of 500, 218 of 500. I don't believe there's 500 of these. I don't believe it. I found the VHS. I have one of their VHS tapes. There's 66 fucking units of this thing, dude.
Wow.
66. I found it years ago. No problem, but I found it.
Mhm.
I've got a fucking 7-inch that there's 27 units of. I have that. This fucking thing that there's 500 of. Impossible to find. Impossible. I had to get this from Barsh from the shit. I think he told me. He might have told me not to tell anyone.
Whoops.
I can't remember, but he might have done that. But dude, I could not. I whenever this came out, I think it was actually 2006 or so, because I remember the drummer Weakling. Yes, I believe this band Wraitham. I think he was actually in Weakling, that San Francisco band I was telling you about. So I could not find this forever, and this thing I refuse to believe that it exists. I just decided this doesn't exist. then Bart sends me a picture. He's like, no, it exists, brother. I have it. I'm like, fuck. Okay, it's the most elusive thing ever. I have their demo cassette. There's only, 100 or so of. I've got all these things that there's only 5, 10, whatever, 20, 60. But this 500, there can't be. It's the fucking thing's impossible to find. It's just been impossible to find. So yeah, and then that's like the real reason why I was even talking about these things, because I was so excited that I fucking finally found that thing.
Sure.
And then there's weird shit like this that's, this release is hand numbered. Okay. Well, it's supposed to be hand numbered on this, but it's numbered on this instead. So I'm like, is that even real? It might have been an overrun, and then somebody added the number just to make it look like, it's real. It's one of the limited ones. And then here's another one, no numbering at all. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with this release. There's shit like that. So the thing about Bethlehem is there's a finite amount, and it's graspable. You'll spend my whole life finding the shit, but it's within reach, especially since, and that's probably why I'm collecting them so hard, is because I've got things that like the general public just is. The Bethlehem fans are just not going to have a good time, easy time finding. They probably will never find a couple of these things, test presses and shit like that. So I'm very proud of my goddamn Bethlehem collection. I figured I'd cap it off with that.
You should be. That's what you should be.
I got like these 2 box sets they put out. This is like all their records in 2 boxes. One's a picture disc, one's the black vinyl. And I think I got the picture disc first because it didn't come with any jacket. They didn't come with jackets or some shit like that. So I figured to have the art. And then I have it signed by the main guy himself.
Of course.
Bought it straight from him. So they get the money, and then he'll sign whatever you want. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
So yeah. Got all 3 of the Creepshow 2 soundtrack. All 3? Look at this. How's this for fucking OCD? Was that 6, 7 or so copies of one of the most underrated death metal album of all time. This is it. To me, this is the most underrated death metal album of all time.
Okay.
You guys ever heard this?
I've heard it. Yeah.
Deteriorate, Rotting in Hell.
Because
the
of
riffs.
you, I believe I've heard it.
The fucking riffs, man. It's not the best recording. It sounds kind of like shit because it was that Turbo? I think this was a JL America release back in the day. This is the reissue. It sounds better, but not by much.
Yeah.
The riffs, dude. It was like, I remember thinking like, man, I wish there was more stuff like Deicide, because there didn't seem to be many bands that had that energy and that driving force sound. And then I heard that album, and I was just like, holy shit, Deicide Part 2 right here. This is sick. This is so sick. So I love that band. I bought every variant that they put out when that dude put out reissued it. Luckily he did, because finding the LP was not going to happen. I'm not even sure if it was even originally released on LP. I had the CD and the cassette since the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And those things ended up going for hundreds of dollars, even just a CD. So.
Oh yeah. Now I was trying to look up this Weakling band from earlier, Dead as Dreams, and I'm gonna have a hard time trying to find the audio for that, but I'm very intrigued to hear that.
It should be on YouTube or something.
Right on.
But yeah, Rotting in Hell wasn't even released on LP originally, I guess. Just cassettes, and it was bootlegged and all sorts of crap. And then they changed they kept the name, but they changed genres. They put out a black metal record after that. So it was just kind of like, that's weird.
I'm out.
I mean, I like black metal, but pick a lane, man.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Then again, look what we did. So, I forgot something. I had to get ready.
I don't sound like that. Do I sound like that?
All right.
God damn it.
I'm Jeff. Oh my, this reeks. Oh, that was stupid.
What was that? What the hell was that?
Dude.
That's what you get. That's what you get for fucking with me, Travis. Quit doing it. God.
That's my fucking laundry bag from tour. I thought I got washed with all the clothes. God damn it.
That's what you get.
That's disgusting.
That's gross. Nasty.
Moldy stage clothes were in there. It just smells like my crotch, really, from what I can tell.
Well, that's not so bad. I mean, you get used to it after a while.
You know, like when if you forgot to take a shower the day before, or you've been working all day. Yeah. God, that was not good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think. I mean, that's not it.
No, that's obviously not it. But
there's too much to talk about. I mean, this was just the stuff that was either sitting out from listening to it when you hit me up, or new acquisition stuff that was coming in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
Well, this was fun, dude. This is what I wanted to learn about, different stuff that you're listening to. I love shit like this. I love learning about the music that you listen to.
Oh,
definitely. Good. And hopefully, those two Bethlehem records you don't have, if you mention them on here, maybe a fan will show up one day with those for you.
So what it is, all I'm missing is their second demo tape. Which, dude, seriously, I've actually posted. I posted about the Wraithen split. The one I was going on about, because I was just like, well, maybe somebody in my, you never know. When I ask a question on my friends list, or out on Facebook or something, I'll get the answer, no problem. Right. So I was like, yeah, we'll take a shot at this. We'll see. But so they in '93, I have the '92 promo demo, but in '93 they released it's this 7-inch. It's the Dipale Dominion 7-inch, but it was just called Promo '93. It doesn't have this artwork. Oddly enough, it has the cover is, well, that's it too, I guess. What happened? Where's that Bethlehem? That Wraithen split? Yeah, this piece of shit. Sorry. It's not a piece of shit. It's a great album. This is the cover of the demo tape that I'm looking for. And it's just called Promo '93. I'm not interested in bootlegs or somebody, authentically making one that looks like it. I just need the damn original. There's 140 people looking for it. And see, it's been bootlegged. Wait, no, that's because of the 7-inch. Sorry, never mind. It probably has been bootlegged, but the statistics are including the 7-inch sales. So obviously it didn't go for $10 and a highest of 32. That's not reality. No. So I'm looking for the Promo March '93 demo tape. And the only other thing I need is their Gepriesen Sie der Untergang VHS tape. There's 33 copies of. It's PAL format, so I probably won't even be able to watch it, just like my dark metal one. But there's 71 people waiting for it. They do a Iron Maiden cover. That's interesting. Anyways, apparently this thing exists. It's another one of those things where it's like, I'll believe it when I see it. But right. Barsh told me, yeah, it's a thing. He doesn't have one. So if he did, I'd pay him whatever he wanted. It's just, I'm not finding the damn thing anywhere. So
damn.
Gepriesen. I don't know Deutsch at all. Thank God. Gepriesen Sie der Untergang. VHS tape. Those two things. That's it. That's all I need. I'll find it else. There's like CDs and shit that I'll get, like, oh, this promo CD where it's just the CD and the cover. I just haven't gotten around to grabbing them all yet.
Right.
And I'm actually going to do a Twitch stream at some point that's just focused on my Bethlehem collection and doing a deep dive, a Bethlehem iceberg, if you will. But I have it all actually together I have a whole mail crate filled with Bethlehem stuff ready to do the thing, talk about it. But
Cool.
this isn't even everything. Yeah, there's the 7-inch. There's this other 7-inch that has this like razor wire cage thing around it. It's screwed up and it comes with a razor blade on the front. That's the one. There's like 27 of them or something like that. I got like number 21 or whatever. I got it from Barsh though. That's the thing. So the only way I was able to get any of it is because I'm in contact with the main guy or whatever. At least that's kind of what it seems like. And before him, the guitar player who hasn't been in the band in forever. So it's all about networking. You know what I mean?
Who you know. Absolutely.
Yep. For sure. Well, cool. Right. Thank you very much, Travis, for taking the time to do this show with us.
Anytime, buds.
Yeah, man. And we're really intrigued with this collection that you broke out today. That was, like I said, like we didn't want to just see just straight metal, and I'm glad you went in all directions with this. This was great. Yeah,
there's a lot. There's a lot more, and a lot of like I'm gonna be sitting here going, "Oh, I should have busted that out," or "Oh, I should have done that." But I figured the easiest way would be to do like incoming stuff. Or I didn't even get to go over. I just did a e-rake order, and I finally made good on. I picked up all these old LPs that I never had on vinyl, like Nocturnus Thresholds, and for whatever reason, I never got Left Hand Path or Clandestine on vinyl.
I don't never got those either.
Yeah. I should have got Dismember, like of an Ever Flowing Stream, because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, my copy. Just don't ever. For any reason, don't ever. If you do a vinyl, or I'm going to do a DJ night, and I'm going to talk about I'm going to bring my vinyl collection out. Don't do it. Just don't fucking do it. You know why?
You're going to have a bad time.
If you're an idiot like me,
you're going to have a.
You will get too drunk, and then the next day. You will come out and realize you left your fucking original pressing of Dismember like an ever-flowing stream in the fucking car because you're too drunk to bring it in like a dumbass. And this is a big old...
I can see it right there. That's
big old warp. And then same fucking thing, because it's right next to it, happened to my Disharmonic Orchestra Pungent Stench split I've had fucking forever. This one's probably, I think this is the worst one of the bunch. Basically, all my Death, Spiritual Healing. Oh, I could feel it. Death, Spiritual Healing, first press came out like this.
Wow!
Look at that.
Oh my god, dude! Yeah, that's
holy shit.
Oh, that's horrible.
California Sun. I figured it out probably around 1 p.m. in the afternoon. I ran out there. Fuck! Oh shit! And ran out there, and there it was. Everything warped as fuck. So from that moment on, anytime, because I was doing metal DJing at this dumb bar down the street, and people would come up and go, iPod, or oh, you're using a laptop, DJ laptop, everybody. There's a reason why I'm giving him a German accent, but anyways, oh, you know what? And, we spin only vinyl at this metal night or whatever. Well, you're a better man than I, because fucking I leave my shit in the fucking car like a dumbass. And you know what I'd rather have? Records that can be played. So now I got fucking half my death metal, old school death metal vinyl is fucking destroyed. Because I finally was like, all right, fine, losers, I'll come and play vinyl because it matters so much when it's over a fucking PA and you're talking about iced earth to your fucking buddy for the 50th fucking time in the week. And who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
Right.
I should have just stuck with the goddamn MP3s and shit because that shit never melted. But I listened to these guys that were like, "Oh, you should be playing vinyl. Oh, vinyl or nothing." I'm like, "Fine. I'll do it." I regretted every moment of that. Don't bring your vinyl out to your fucking DJ nights. Just fucking iPod the shit out of that shit, man. Or don't get wasted like I did. Stupid. That's how you learn.
Yep.
Well, okay. Thank you again. We really appreciate your time tonight. And those are some crazy stories, buddy. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, it's a big bummer, dude.
Yeah, that's a bummer, Travis, man. That sucks. That sucks. But dude, this was fun. It was great to see you. I'm glad we finally got the time to sit down with you and make this happen. Because like I knew not to expect metal. I knew to expect the obscure, the stuff that nobody was going to expect, and that's you delivered.
Rad. Well, thanks,
man. Thank you so much for doing this. This was great. Great seeing you. I love hearing you make fun of me. I love hearing the stuff, the invitations.
I regret it now after that. Gross.
But thank you everybody for watching and listening, and we will see you all next week. Have a good one.
I'm gonna vinyl bang them into my life.